Might be here. Hard to tell. I think so. Probably don't need that lamp, to be honest. Arrived to earn drops, huh? Alright. Hopefully y'all can hear me okay. Try and get the lighting just perfect. It's tricky with my setup. I'm probably gonna redo the whole setup pretty soon. Right, let's put um where is it? Dev streams. Copy and pasta. Looks like my server's down. Hang on one sec. Boots up. I just got a massive static shock from that computer, which is a little bit worrying, but see what happens. See if that turns on. You can see down here. Oh, you can't below me if I move me slightly. Server unavailable. My server is down right now, so I'll get that up. Touch it again. Yeah, man. Yeah, a little bit worried about that. But you know, hopefully that's okay. This is a really old house, and yeah, some of the outlets are a bit iffy. And honestly, if you look at my cable situation over there, it's just like a pile of stuff. That black thing is well, it's server. It's just a computer on the floor basically. But you know, it's probably a miracle it hasn't exploded, to be honest. Because I haven't really set this room up very well. But anyway, g'day Jenny, how's it going? Surely it's not because you're wearing socks on carpet, wearing a wool sweater. I'm not wearing socks, but I am wearing a wool sweater. Could be that. Could be that. But alright. I guess I can move me until this comes back, so there's something to look at. Server unavailable. Actually, sure. On or not. So I better get this running real quick. Don't do that on the stream. Well, it doesn't really matter. It's just on my local network. If I remote in, see, I'm running just a server. It's just like a remote Windows. Back online. All right, back online. How's it going, guys? Ranger, Jenny, how you been? How was the weekend? Ranger, I still haven't set up those accounts. I promise I will. I've just been really busy with Harvey and doing a little bit of work over the weekend on some upcoming stuff, which you have seen a little bit of. Doing some mining in the craft. Oh no, dude, are you on Minecraft? God damn, man, that is gonna make me do it. It's like every 6 months to a year, I start a modded mod pack. And I've been clean for a good 4 months or so now, but doing well. That's good. Get up to much, Jenny, over the weekend? Or just a chill one? Fun stuff, man. I really need to like start some game servers for the Liquid Donkey community. That'd be cool. Since I have a server sitting there, I should start like some Minecraft servers and Ark servers and whatnot. Got commission delivered, which looks sublime. Commission delivered. Was that like an art piece or something? Also, yeah, sorry I look like I'm about 12, but I shaved my beard because Harvey was just, I mean, Smirk Twig was just like grabbing clawfuls of my beard, and yeah, it was pretty sore. So just shaved it all, but now I look you know, fucked, I guess is the word. Nice, Jenny. Ah, cool. That's pretty sweet. Art commissions. Nice. Is that for something in particular or just for general artness? That's cool. Just mentally preparing myself to get into this, and then I'll show you what I've done and what we're working on today. You can see that I finished off, well, not finished off, but I still a bit jank to be honest. But I over the weekend modified the model for this tower, if you remember. So this is all just like one mesh now, with the gaps and everything built in. Not very well. It still needs tweaked and stuff, but just to kind of get something working. Like I noticed I missed this area right here, and then also the what should I say? Anim maybe FP FPM or something. I'm just trying to get a character in here. Like if I drag this guy, and you can see the scale's like a little bit off as well. Also, if you've never seen the first person animations, from third person perspective, it's kind of fucked up. But yeah, that's the gun animations. So that when you're here, you don't see the head. It's from an artist named T. Oh god, here we go with names. T T draw stuff. There we go. She's crazy skilled. Oh nice. Let me look that up. T draw stuff. Always looking for cool illustrators for like I've got some ideas for. Oh wow, yeah, that's pretty cool. Maybe not quite the style I'm looking for, but I was thinking at some point, maybe if I get enough time and resources for this game, I would like to do some illustrated introductions for the hunts, like with the the black text and everything. Um, but yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I'd have to find the right artist and stuff. There's like some scenes if you've seen Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, I believe there's a scene in that where they're talking about the I can't remember the lore exactly, but there's like a special wand and the invisibility cloak and stuff, and it's basically like I think Hermione's like narrating, and there's let me see if I can find it. Hello story scene, maybe. Yeah, it's like this kind of style. Like so it's she's basically narrating over like this kind of illustrated silhouette thing. I thought maybe if I had enough time and resources that could be a cool way to do the intros to the hunts, like talking about the lore and stuff. Um but yeah. Be expensive, take a lot of time and I need to find the right artist, but it was just a thought. And in case you haven't heard, by the way, can you hear my computer audio? Because I'll show this again just in case you guys haven't seen it. If I can find the files. Yeah, Spotify, yeah. Maybe I should just do no music. Also, I didn't check Ranger, but I don't know if it's like deleting the music in the VODs or not, but I'll find these again. Because I'm still trying to decide on this. Well, if you kept the tracks isolated correctly, it should. Yeah, I think I did keep them isolated correctly. I don't have the Unreal one. Let me just put my thing on the stream. It's going to be real cursed looking, but I um I just have desktop audio in this mix thing because it was like the other scene we did the Unreal stuff. So oh whatever. I just whatever. I can just delete the whole like desktop audio. It doesn't matter. That will not isolate. Oh, cool. Oh well, they can just ban me or something. I don't know. But yeah. So in case you haven't heard them, hopefully this is loud enough. Um, yeah, so I've got like, I don't know, six or so versions of that. Because I hired that voice actor for a project that you guys will see soon. Ranger might have seen already, but well, since I had her hired, I thought I'd do a test of her reading the intros to the hunts. And yeah, I can't decide whether I'm gonna use that or not. Like, I don't know whether adding maybe I'll do a poll on Discord to be honest, but I don't know whether adding also I just noticed the UVs are all fucked on here. I need to switch the direction. Um I don't know if adding the voiceover to the intros of these hunts is gonna make it to basically like cheesy or not, or whether just black text with ominous music is better. It's obviously cheaper to just do black text with music, but yeah. Yeah, now that I've noticed this, these UVs really piss me off. It should be the other way. We'll figure it out later. Okay, sounds good, man. I mean, we can just have a quick look. I'm pretty sure you're just gonna say like something about this, right? Like, I can't remember which one's which, but like, it's probably fine. Is it? This is the scene of thingy thing. So desktop is not going to channel 2 or something. That'll work? Yeah. I think channel 2 is the one it doesn't upload or something. Can't remember. They just can't hear Unreal. Well, I mean, it's just desktop audio, right? So it's just like the whole everything. But yeah, in the VODs, they won't be able to hear Unreal, but I mean, whatever. I can set that up sometime. It doesn't really matter, probably. I'm not doing like super audio stuff in Unreal at the moment. I mean, that part I just showed you, the voiceover, there would be nothing, but hey, if you're watching these VODs, tune in live to catch the full experience of all of the audio extravaganza in real time. Be there or be square. So, what I did over the weekend and on I think Friday, can't remember. I was working on a couple more of these mechanics for the Mothman hunt, so ignore that. And that thing back there. I mean, don't ignore them, but like I'll talk about those another time. But yeah, there's these glowy things around. But I was working on some of the mechanics for the Mothman hunt. Um, so this I don't have the model for yet. We might make that today, or the description. Someone can help me write the description if they want. But it's basically bolt cutters, this thing, and it's the bandage in my hand. And the way it works is there's going to be these fences in different parts of the map blocking off areas, and if you have the bolt cutters, you can go up to them and believe it or not, cut through the fence. So I'd say that's pretty much AAA gameplay right there, as far as game development goes. So yeah, I think we're good on this. It's not. Um, it's pretty freaking satisfying to be honest. Like, the only thing I'm worried about is the interactions in this game. For the most part, you go up to stuff and push E or whatever your interact key is. I'll hold E, but this interaction is different because, and I'll explain why I had to do it this way in a second. But this one you actually have to have the item in your hand, the bolt cutters. That it looks like the chisel on my hotbar there. It's actually bolt cutters, and then you have to actually look at the the thing you want to cut and then click, which is different than the other interactions in the game. So I'm a little bit worried about teaching people how to do that. It kind of so it has to be that way. One because well, the main reason really. One reason is because the equipment is the thing that actually does the interaction. The equipment, by the way, just in case anyone cares, behind the scenes, this is how the game works. So when you hold something in your hand, um, why do we not get any hits for player? What? Huh? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, it's not showing. What the fuck? Why is it not showing the stuff in real time? What's going on there? Just do that. I don't know why by default it's not set to that. But yeah, the player character basically, I don't know if it's going to show in here actually. The player character, when you hold something in your hand, it spawns this actor in the world, and this is the thing that's in your hand basically. So this is its own actor with its own like set of code and stuff. So what was I saying? So part of the reason is because the interaction on the fence is in the equipment itself. This actual item, so that I can do special effects and sounds and see like that little icon pops up and stuff like that. I can do like custom code for that. But the other reason is because the way I'm making these fences, rather than I basically modeled. Well, I took a something from one of the asset packs we have. I think it was this one, yeah. And then took it into Blender and modified it to make a couple versions. So there's a version without the bit on one end, which means I can. It's kind of confusing to look at because this is all like stuffed into one area, but I can basically like duplicate it along like this and see that like bar thing that lines up. Whereas if I do it with this one, the one from the asset pack, it's like it's gonna basically Z-Fi or clip or something like that, or I'd have to line them up like this. So I made a version with that, and I made a version. I what did I do? Oh yeah, I made a separate version of one of these so you can cap the end of these things, and then I made a version with a hole in it, more or less. Not more or less. That's exactly what I did. I don't know why I said more or less. Man, I need to turn this webcam off. I'm so embarrassed by the lack of beard. I basically had a beard pretty much since high school, so it's very I throw myself off every time I see myself without a beard, and it freaks me out. Anyway, so then because I didn't want to go around the map and manually duplicate these over and over and over again, um, and for performance reasons, like if I look at this now, this looks like a fence, it's fine, but this is like one, two, three, four, however many, six um, actual actors in the scene, which each of these is kind of their own object and running their own kind of process. They take up sort of processing and memory and collision and like all sorts of stuff like that. So what I did is I made an actor that will basically generate the fence. So this is just one actor now with a couple of components on it. The segments is the main fence. The broken is just the ones that you've clipped, and then there's just the single end piece. And the way I set this up was just with a spline, a spline where I can just just drag out basically a fence, wherever I want it to go, and it'll just generate the layout for me. Um, but so that's good for performance and good because I can add fences really quickly in any kind of shape I want. The downside to that is because the way the interaction system works currently is when you interact with something, it's just you're interacting with the entire actor. And the actor, by the way, in case you're not super familiar with Unreal, is like the whole kind of object. Like when I click on something here, that's the actor. Like it's the kind of the object in the world, if you know what I mean. So when I interact with something like the deer, it's interacting with the entire deer, not just like a particular piece of it. If I wanted to, what the fuck is all this, by the way? This super creepy looking. I don't know why there's, I don't know. This test map is pretty ominous. But yeah, so if I was to interact with this, it would interact with the entire fence, right? So when you look at it, the whole fence would highlight, which is not really what I want or how it should work. So that is another reason why I've made a custom or like a kind of more unique um, interaction method where um, you look at the particular piece of the fence, and even though it's still um, one object, what it actually does is it basically like um, I don't know how deep I should go in explaining how Unreal works, but this is a hierarchical instance static mesh, which means it's basically the same mesh just duplicated a whole bunch of times, and it just kind of treats it as one kind of object, so it just kind of renders it in one go. Um, so I have one for the segments, and then I basically hide the piece that you click on, and then I have another hierarchical instance static mesh, which is all just the broken one, and then I just replace it with that basically. So it's like it's all still one object, but I can kind of like interact with individual kind of pieces of it. So don't know if anyone cares about any of that, but that is why it works like that. But that causes the problem, maybe not, I don't know, where throughout the entire game so far, we've conditioned players to basically look for things that highlight and walk up and push E on them. So I need to figure out a nice way. I might have to do like a little tutorial-y sequence in the map or have a hint or something where when you pick up the bolt cutters, you actually need to put it in your hand, get it out, and then actually like look at the thing you want to cut. So open to ideas on how to basically like make that intuitive for people. Once they do it once, it'll be fine. It's just like because there's not really anything else in the game you do that with except like guns and that. It's not gonna probably come naturally to people. They won't think of doing that. Like for example, in the Night of the Wendigo, when you're chiseling the runes for the ritual, you just have to have the chisel in your inventory and you just push E on all the things. You don't actually have to have it in your hand or use it in any way or anything like that. So like my basically my gut is telling me go back through the whole game and make all the interactions work like this. But that is a lot of work for not too much gain. Um, but it would mean that people automatically know how to do this when they get to this hunt. So I don't know. Thoughts welcome. Thoughts and ideas. Also, yeah, collision works. So when it's I'm holding W right now, I can't walk through it. But if I break the fence, I can go through. Technically, I can go through here as well, but who cares? It's a waste of performance to have that particular piece cut out. So that's something we did. The other thing, obviously, I made all these assets and this tool, which we could use for other types of fences too, by the way. Um, yeah, the other thing was this, and I still don't really have a good way of doing this, but the this tower you can now actually like properly climb. Still no animations or anything like that. Um, because I've cut like the holes and everything, and figured out the layout and stuff. So let's climb up here. Hey, demonic, how's it going, man? And it's still like before where you just look around, look where you want to go. It's just the scale is kind of off to me. I'm not sure what about it is throwing off the scale. There's something that feels like wrong. I don't know. Probably doesn't matter. I don't want to spend like ages making these small pieces of this hunt. But there's going to be probably three of these towers in the Mothman hunt. Here's our cursed friend with the broken net, the first person animation, and then yeah, we've got to do some stuff with this at some point. But yeah, I think the idea is going to be you need to probably well, like what I'm thinking so far is you'll need to either install or repair these dishes, potentially align them to something, and then tune the radio frequency to get either some sort of message or code to allow you to access a different part of the map. Um, but we'll figure that out soon. I've got a few ideas on how that's going to work. It's just I'm not sure exactly what's going to work best in the game right now. But yeah, I'm thinking like install the dish. I don't know about aligning it, maybe not align it. Um, and then that will allow you to, yeah, like have radio frequency to tune in to stuff. So yeah, that's where we're at right now with this stuff. Um, what'll be some special tools to help hunt this quarry? Some huge lamp. Don't know what you mean there. One tool I'm gonna add probably is well, you've seen the bolt cutters. There's gonna be ideally some like again, this all might change because you're watching like this as in real time as I'm developing, but a basically a either an ultrasound or a high frequency like wave emitter. And I'm thinking of making a handheld version of that too, and then possibly also, yeah, as you say, some lights, some big bright uh, lights, maybe UV lights. I'm not sure, but there'll be some custom items and gear for this hunt for sure. Um, I feel there should be some timed thingy using the bolt cutters. Yeah, you're probably right. And yeah, the light thing, Jenny, is a good call. Yeah, I was thinking about how to do that. It's just like, yeah, I just need to figure out like whether it's something you place or something you hold or what. Because like holding like a huge, ultra powerful light is going to be interesting. But maybe if you place it and then you can like aim it or something like that, I'm not sure. But yeah, we'll see. Or maybe you can activate particular high powered lights around the map or something. I'll show you guys the map at some point. I've kind of stripped it back to rebuild it because I've changed, and this is how these hunts go. It's I have all the pieces I want and know how I want it to work and everything. I'm just trying to like figure out the most intuitive flow for the story and the gameplay to work. So changing the map multiple times is just how this goes. I think the vampire map had three versions. The Night of the Wendigo map had two or three versions as well, and on the Mothman, I think we're on the second or third version of it. So we're just sort of building that up at the moment. Putting a place down, yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I just yeah, I'm gonna need to figure out the interaction there. Like, it's to me, it would probably draw him in or something. Um, you can see. You might not be able to see this very well, to be honest, but can't really. But I have basically like I make these like flow charts for you might be able to see this particular one for how the hunt's gonna go, like flowchart style, where it's like if you think about the Night of the Wendigo hunt, it's like, okay, you start the hunt, and then the next node would be like, um, you need the paper and the charcoal. So those are two nodes you need to get, and then those allow you to get the transcription, and it kind of like allows me to see the overview of how like what the path through the game is, not in terms of like the actual flow, like the physical space of the map, but more like what things you need to do to beat the hunt and what like paths you can go through those, if that makes sense. And then from that, that helps me build the layout of the map. Like for example, if there's a required item, like say these bolt cutters, but I put them right at the end, but there's a fence that needs the bolt cutters to be able to access to pick the bolt cutters up, then I need to make sure I think about the progression flow so that I don't do stuff like that where you can't beat it because you can't get the thing you need because you need the thing to get the thing, if that makes sense. So um, yeah, so we'll get into some of the map stuff probably, maybe not this stream, maybe we'll see, but yeah. And then the creature, the actual like Mothman creature AI and stuff like that will be on stream at some point as well, but I've got a little bit more animation work and creature work I need to do before that. So yeah, but yeah, no, I think you're right, Jenny. How was your weekend, by the way, Demonic? Where like filling the bar, the circle thing would be good. Like if I put in a crate, I think that would be good, basically. Um, so we might do that, I think, um, to help kind of make it feel like the rest of the game a little more. So I think the first thing will be to figure out if we're going to quickly do that, or figure out how the interaction does that itself already. Um, it's like interaction time. You know what? The easiest way to do this will be in the other order where I go to the HUD. How's the audio and everything, by the way, guys? Is the music's not too loud or I'm not too quiet or anything? Okay, let's see how this works. Show interaction progress. Hide interaction progress. Visibility. Show interaction progress. Okay, so where does this get called from? Good. All right. Simple. Simple, direct answer. I like it. Good. Cool. See Corinne. Is this like for a book or like D&D or something? Very cool. There's some wild. I was scrolling back through here. So there's some wild stuff in this channel, and also I came across oh, where is it? I didn't see these at the time. Like as you guys know, I was a bit kind of distant for a while on the projects. I wasn't keeping super up to date on this stuff. One thing was this track here. I don't know if you guys have heard this. Let me play it because it is super duper sick. This guy did a remix of the intro sequence, which I might put in the game, but so cool. So yeah, there was that, but then anyway, I'm getting really distracted, but I saw Lemon like years ago was making this really cool Australian map. I think before he was a developer on the game, to be honest. Um, I don't know if I can find it again. There's all sorts of conspiracy theories about where I was and stuff. Um, but again, in case you haven't seen it, oh my god, how far back do I have to go? It was a long time ago. God, yeah, I feel so bad about how long this has taken, but it's alright. We're back. Yeah, look at these wicked maps. Lemon was making these Australian maps for the hunts he was going to do for a mod. So freaking sick, man. you guys saw these at the time, but I didn't, and I just came across them today because I was scrolling back through here, and yeah, super impressed. Very cool. So hopefully we can look into getting this hunt finished because looks very cool. I don't know what creature he was making it about. Looks like a hoop snake, but I don't know if that was a joke or it's the actual one. Anyway, what was I doing here? Nothing, right? Oh, looking at your image. Yeah, yeah. You see my com I posted on server. Oh, the commission? Yeah, yeah, yeah. The is that what you meant? That's, yeah, very cool. But yeah, is that for like a book or something, or like D&D, or just in general? It's very cool. Okay, so when you try interact, we get the HUD, show interaction progress, and then bind to interaction complete. Okay, all right, that's probably easy enough to do. So to do that, I will go to the bulk cutters equipment, which again is the thing in my hand, which I will make actually look like bolt cutters, but for right now it's just the bandage. It's for your own project setting. Ah, cool. Very cool. So what we want to do here, and I could build this into the base class, but I think I'm just gonna hard code it here for now, and then we'll see. So rather than immediately cutting the fence, um, is that something I should be showing on stream, or is that a DM? I thought when I'm streaming it doesn't show DMs, but whatever. I'll look at that in a second. So instead of cutting the fence immediately when you push the action, I'll go I'll basically get the HUD um progress, show interaction progress for this, and then how long, a second maybe, and then set timer by events, and then custom, and then uh, cut um, pro progress complete. Do you guys want background music, or is it better if I just don't have any? And that should be 1 second as well. And then yeah, when you cut the fence is when we actually do the thing. Um, but we're going to need events, primary, action, release as well. Um, there's potential we should be calling the parent, so I'll do that. When you release it, we actually also want to clear and invalidate the timer so that it doesn't trigger if you let go. Um, but potentially that is all we need to do. Progress. This really like it's so annoying. Like there's so many like systems like this that I would write so differently today because a lot of these I wrote like 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, even some of them. And I've obviously learned a lot and progressed a lot in my craft since then. I've been, in professionally making games for like 10 years now. So, um, yeah, it's kind of annoying to have to write code like I did 5 years ago, but it's a case of I'd have to go back and refactor stuff. So that's the other thing that would be nice about making a new project is I could do so much better of a job now if I had a clean slate. But yeah, is what it is. So if I hold click now, yep, that does the thing. It just doesn't really look right because of the overlay positioning. Um, so what we can do for that is just move this probably up to maybe here. Second's probably fine for that. Wait, if I let go, it's not cancelling it. Bolt cutters, clear and invalidate. Maybe I have to do this here. Maybe primary action released isn't working. Must be though. Maybe not though. No, it's not. Okay. Primary action released. If I grab that and go to the player character, maybe we never set this up. No. Primary action. Yeah, we only did pressed. Okay, so let's see if it's. We're gonna have to say, so when you release, if input is allowed and you're not switching, um, there is no full screen widget and no current placeable, but you do have a. This is such cursed logic. And then you do have current equipment, then primary action released. But then we probably also need to call this on um, need to put a variable in here, I guess. This is probably not the way to do it, but primary action pressed is primary action pressed, and then set that to true here, but false here. Um, because when you switch off the weapon or something, if you're holding pressed but you switch weapon, I also am probably going to need to call this function. So does this get called on the client? I don't know. Does this get called on the client? No, only on the server. Shit. Okay. End play. That's what I'm going to have to do here. Probably call the parent for this. Or definitely call the parent for this. And then I'm going to have to get the owning player. And then if is primary action pressed, then we'll release. All of this is such a mess right now. Force, release, primary action. Just like this. Release, primary action. If it is currently pressed, which will unset it, and then yeah, then we can do that. Do that clearly. It's down here somewhere. All right. Okay, so now we should actually get the release event happening, which is good. I guess we just never we set up the event, but we never set up the we never called the function. All right, so if I click and then let go, yeah, it cancels it, which is good. If I hold it all the way, it's good. If I hold it and then scroll off, it cancels it, which is good. Yeah, no, that's good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. The only thing maybe I'd want to do, and this is not really that big of a deal, but maybe wrap that with a border. Border, I can just do, where is it? Brush, darken, just to have, there we go, something like behind it, so it like kind of stands out a tiny bit. But yeah, I think that's better. I don't know about 1 second, but like, why is that why is that doing that? That is overlay. Um, show icon instance editable. Editable. Set show icon like this. Now get rid of that. And in the overlay, um, I can actually just not make these variables anymore, but I can just go in here and say um, visibility, add that a binding here, and then just do a select like this. There we go. So now if I hold that, I don't see the little dark bit. If I do that, I do see it. Um, just helps that bit stand out a little. Cool. All right, that's good. A second's probably fine for that. Um, there should probably be sound playing and animation and all that, but we'll get to that at some point. Quickly commit these changes. uh, bolt cutter and fence cutting. All right, checked in. Okay, so the next thing, what is the next thing? Next thing might be to make a coffee, to be honest. Let's check in Discord real quick. The next thing was we could do the bolt cutter model, but I mean, I guess we could do that bolt cutter model real quick. Yeah, why not? Why not? Let's do that. Make a coffee before we get started on that. Do a new one, I guess. All right. Let's see. Bolt cutters alt. Yeah, you can see I already looked this up because I was gonna do it, but I thought I'd save it for a stream. Let's see. That's probably pretty good. I do need some like bigger images, ideally. Like a real good, clean reference image. Like the shape of those ones. Let's go with this though. I think I do like this style better. Save that. Not going to be able to model directly onto this, but we can get this working. I just need to get the basically the rough shape. So let's see. Piecing this out in my head real quick. So start with a plane. So we go that far, maybe. And then it kind of goes twice as far up like this, and then this bit goes down as well. bit goes down here. Flat, 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 and then this probably goes more like that. All right, so there's a rough shape there for this top piece right here, and then over top of that we would have, um, just need to put that, which direction are we modeling this in from the top? We would have, let's see, because I'm going to mirror this basically this. Actually, you know what might be the easiest way to do this part is with a circle with probably only like six, eight. And then I can just delete these ones and then E, oh, EY. I don't know if you guys like me doing modeling stuff on stream or not, but I can definitely not do it if it's not something that's super interesting, but it does need to get done, so but I can definitely do it off stream if that's something that people aren't interested in seeing. Okay, so that goes down, let's see. This bit needs to go like more like here, and then these like that. This bit is that, and then that goes down to here pretty much. Cool seeing work done. Okay, well, that's good. Yeah, I can do it then. So then what we would do probably is move that up, and move this to probably like right there. Set origin to 3D cursor, and then I can put a mirror on that, on the Y like that. This one. Do that. Cursor to selected, and then origin to 3D cursor. And now I can mirror that as well. Actually, put the origin there. It's kind of cursed, but it doesn't matter for the mirror. Can turn clipping on this one, and then go GY to merge those. And then I can cursor to selected, and then origin to 3D cursor. There we go. So now you can see the shape of this kind of coming together. Cheap viewers, piss off. get this so often. So there's like the potentially the top of the bolt cutters. Um, Now we're gonna need it's a really complicated shape to try and make. Okay, so if we do pretty much like hide these for a second. I'm basically making this shape right here, which is going to be kind of tricky, but we'll get there. Um, Scale that along the X to start off with to get that long bit going. And then this corner here kind of needs a circle. So let's do that. Snap this to a vertex. This is gonna be there definitely. And this one, that. And then merge is fine there. Then I can delete this vertex and then maybe I can fill this. Two, three. Check that in a second. I'm just not sure if these are supposed to be shown on stream or not. Okay, so then we've got this bit. So now what I could do, because you can see it kind of blends in a bit more, like that. This bit. Uh, okay, so we've got that. That goes around. Then we need to basically cut a piece off here, which is going to be annoying as well. So if we have that bit now, let me check that message real quick. Gotta say I love this game. Was a little worried it was not going to get further updates, but credit to you, Smirks, if you made a hell of a game. So, oh, that's very nice. That was a message in Discord. This bit I'm just gonna ignore because yeah, I'll be able to do. I'll just extend that bit out. So this will be good for now. So if I turn these back on, this bit needs to go like ish. Trying to look at the angle here, is this one is slightly steeper angle, so would actually be probably like that. So now if I do this, we're getting close to the shape of the top of it. Obviously it's just 2D right now, but now we'll just do this pipe bit at the end, which should be relatively easy. We can, for that, we can just do a cylinder with probably only 16. Um, Triangle fan at the end. Okay. And let's see, rotate on the Y by 90 and then scale along the X for however long we need. To know how long we need it, isn't it? Like, we'll say it's something like that for now. Um, and we have a bit somewhere back here, maybe like here, where we can, oh, put another thingy right here, and then grab all of this, and then scale shift Y, scale shift X. Okay, how does that connect? It's just basically just like that. I mean, triangle fan's actually kind of annoying. I shouldn't have done that. Red or like fill the geometry I want, to be honest. I could just fill it with an Engon and let the engine figure it out, maybe. That'd probably be fine. All right, so we got that, and then the other bit is just, it kind of just rounds out at the end. So actually, wait, I think rip. Right? Because I'll keep that Engon section there, the triangle fan section, because now what I can do here is grab this and basically go, basically round this out. So actually, I won't worry about this piece right here. Okay. That's pretty good. So we can maybe do with a little more geometry here to that hard edge I'm not loving, but we probably don't need that geometry. I can just adjust this to be like 50 degrees. Not what we're looking at. Where's that hard edge coming from right there? The change in specular angle, I think. Okay, I won't auto smooth this one then, I'll just do it manually. So you can go here, 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 and here, and say Control E, mark sharp. And that'll keep that end rounded, but this end sharp. Okay, so that's, I mean, potentially roughly we can adjust things a little bit, like maybe that, and then we basically will just want to say have this be, it looks like that same angle there pretty much. So if that was like that, and then we join it on here, then we have, yeah, potentially looks all right. Maybe we would go slow. Yeah, that's pretty good. Um, and now we just have that little bit in the middle. So let's see, shifts. Let's just do that cylinder with, I think I was doing 12. GX that to kind of taking a little bit of liberties here on how like the sizing and how this technically works and stuff, just because otherwise, yeah, it's a pain to get this exactly right. So yeah, be like that. And now we just need to add some thickness to this. So this part, um, is probably really hard to see for you guys. It's hard to see for me as well. I think I need to set origin to 3D cursor and then do the Z. Yeah, there we go. Just grab the outside edges with clipping on and extrude directly down. And that's that part. Redeified. helps me see the edges a bit better. All right, and now we just need to 3Dify this part. So just eyeball it. Just eyeball it. Doesn't really matter. Reference real quick. That is actually higher, so I just go scale Z on that. Maybe like that high. Right, and now we can see this needs to maybe be a little shorter. You can see that this needs to actually come down on the Z. And this part needs to be here to here. Okay. Progress, progress. It would have been quicker just to buy an asset, but never mind. We're doing this. So now for the actual sort of sharp bits, like the cutting parts, like right here and here, I suppose. Maybe I'll just do all of that. We merge at center. Now, now we've actually got some cutting angle stuff going on. What else do we need? There's like some fancy trim stuff, but that's all texture work. That's fine. I mean, in here, let's see, am I going to be able to squeeze that in somewhere? Difficulty, I might be able to get a little bit of the impression of that going on. Okay, and then we've just got like a couple of these like bolt things. So if I just go create another cylinder, probably maybe 8 would be fine for this. And I can cut this in half. It's hard to see what I just did, but cut it in half. Grab the bottom of this, delete the vertices, and now we have this kind of bolt thing. Grab the outside, scale a little bit, and maybe down like that. And now, I mean, it's hard to imagine because it's not textured right now, but if I basically just put these kind of where they would go. Really should be like being more accurate about lining this up, but it doesn't. Well, I don't know. Matters to some degree, but remember, no one is gonna even give two shits about this on the in the game. Like it's just gonna be a background element no one cares about. So um, it just needs to be good enough, basically. So if I put those onto here, we'll get those duplicated across, and then this one. Yes. Getting there. How's it going, skits? Welcome in. All right. Now we just need to do some smoothing, basically. So I'll just apply some of these modifiers, I guess. I'll just do that and put those in a collection that is disabled. All right. Now I can apply some modifiers. So apply that. This one, let's see, set origin to 3D cursor. Quickly mirror this side, apply it. Okay, so now, yeah, now everything can be joined, I believe. Here as well, and now we got this whole thing itself looking really nice. Cheers, man. Yeah, it's pretty basic, but it'll get the job done. And then if I just put an overall, not edge split, uh, maybe an auto smooth over the whole thing. Be a case where I have to kind of do this a little bit more manually. I think it will. So, I mean, all of these bolts, which I just noticed aren't mirrored on the other side, can smooth those. And yeah, so grab that, and that, and then separate by selection, origin to 3D cursor on the Z. That'll put the bolts underneath as well. Because I didn't line this up perfectly, they're a little bit off, but that's why it is helpful to actually measure the stuff properly. But all right, and then we can merge that back on again. And now I just need to smooth out a couple more things. So let's see. Do these pieces first, shade smooth, and then we want to sharpen these parts. Probably should have done this before I applied the mirror modifier, and then I wouldn't have to do this twice. Sharp, and now you can see that smooths some of it, but still leaves the sharp bits where we want it. And then what else can we do? So if I go wireframe, I can actually delete these faces because they're inside the model. So you don't actually see those, so it doesn't matter. Let's see, what's the next bit? This bit here, shade smooth on that, and then we just want to grab the edges and make those rendered as sharp. Okay, and now what else? Shade those smooth. basically the same thing. Just go around here. Boom. Is it Shift H? Yeah. Yeah. Um, Really should have done this before I applied the mirror because then I wouldn't have to do this twice. That's all right. Do that. Go along this edge. Anywhere I want it to be like rendered sharp, basically. So along here, the curves there smooth. That can be sharp, but it doesn't really matter. Then I suppose we want these bits to be sharp, maybe? Is it curved in the middle there? Yeah, it is. Sharp as well. Okay, can do that. So in here, yeah. Okay, so that's sorted out the normals. Oh shit, I forgot the bottom. And we just need to do some texturing. Well, I guess I can just do that another stream. You can at least get the model in for now, and then I can texture it after the fact. Uh, because I might need to adjust the model size or stuff like that. Um, we really don't need those. Clear out any geometry I don't need because every little bit of optimization helps. Coming along very nicely. Yeah, I think it's good enough. Not like the best thing in the world, but it definitely will probably do the trick. All right, and then how do I bring everything back? Is it Alt H? Yeah. There's a chance we might want this part to be marked as sharp to give it a ridge there. I think we do. It's really hard to see that. That. I think that makes it look a little more cuttery. Probably here and here as well. Yeah, that was good, I think. Seems good. And proportions and that seem okay. I don't know. Hard to tell exactly. Like I'm kind of just making this up a little bit as I go, but that's probably good enough. So now the origin of this object is a tricky one because ideally I'd want it on the handle, but probably just gonna have to do like say on the Z by 180. Apply all the station scale, all that, and then the size of this. I mean, it's 20 meters right now, so it's way too big. I don't like how long would it be? Half a meter? Even that's too big, right? 30 centimeters. We'll do half a meter and we can scale it an engine, I guess. Yeah, and then I guess for UVs, I can just really quickly do a smart UV project. Be fine for now. Bolt cutters, save this as bolt cutters, and then export cursor to selected export export. All right, let's see how that came out. Equipment bolt cutters. I don't really know where do I usually keep the meshes? Project and the models. Source content. Let's see, where would that be? Exported static mesh. And here I do need to make sure that we view normals off, I think. So that the work we did on the normal, the sharp stuff comes through. Okay, so we got a problem with the normal direction of some of the faces. So if I come in here and turn on face orientation, you can see all the red is like the inside of the mesh. So I just basically need to flip. It's like just that. Export that. All right, good. Size wise, how did it end up? 50 centimeters. Yeah, I don't know if that's too small or not, or too big. Hard to tell. But yeah, here's our bolt cutters in Unreal. Obviously not textured yet, but it's a start. So we can switch this to the bolt cutters. It's going to be not positioned correctly in my hand because I'm going to have to uh, basically do a what's it called, a like align the mesh properly. Also we don't want collision on that. Yeah, and then the material, like if we look at the bandage, there's a special material function, I believe. By So we go to the bolt cutters, we're going to need to make a material for them. But if there was a material, it should now render, I think, in my hand properly, or not properly, but like it's kind of complicated, but what's happening is we're actually like stretching some of the UVs and stuff to make it that if I go really close to a wall, the gun doesn't like clip through or anything. So it has to have this custom material on it. Um, so now we just need to position it, maybe make an animation for it. Offset. This way to line that up is going to be about. Guess I'll just go into this animation blueprint and this animation is. And if we go skeleton tree, what slot does it go into? Weapon R. R socket. So I could add a yeah, I'll just do a temporary one there, and then if we go preview asset bolt cutters. Now I need that material not to do that thing temporarily. This is the actual the angle that I'm looking for, not like the I don't know how you should be holding bolt cutters, but whatever. Probably not like that. But yeah, if we go relative location now, this is the right thing that I'm looking for, but we'll see. Attached assets and then delete the socket. I might have to just do it in the editor. If I hold it now, totally how I'd hold it. Oh wait, if I put this back on. I don't know, man. That's jank as fuck. But how do you hold a bolt cutter with one hand? I guess you don't. Shit. What I'm gonna have to do is make a custom animation where he's holding it like with one hand like pointed forward, and then yeah, and do that. I mean this will just have to do for now. But then I can have like the the cutting animation and all that as well. Um, yes, I am. I know how to use tools, etc. Do two hands. Yeah, I know, man, but two hands is hard. Two hands is hard. But yeah, I'm gonna have to make custom animation for two hands. Anyway, that's a bolt cutter model done, which is good. More progress. More progress. So we'll get that committed. I need to texture it. I need to make the animation. that's enough bolt cutter stuff because I gotta get into animation and texturing at some point, which I can't be bothered doing right now. But I'm gonna make a coffee, and then I think the next thing is maybe how long are we gonna stream for? An hour and 40. I don't have too long left in me, but I want to maybe explore how some of this is gonna work potentially. Um, and if that is not going well, then I've got another idea for some keycard stuff and things like that. So I'm just gonna make a coffee and then I'll be right back, and we'll do some work on some more of these like kind of puzzle elements of the hunt, and then hopefully some point this week we'll do a stream on actually working on the map. We are right back. Not cold. Okay, let's continue. Probably go for another half an hour maybe. So what I'm thinking next is essentially, and this is kind of, I guess, spoilery for the Mothman hunt, by the way. Um, yeah, I just need to implement some sort of mechanic for the towers. So I guess Can't decide whether I want to do the dish install or not. Just tune it. Yeah. I know. I just want to say it just in case someone wants to click off. Thinking through some design stuff here. So, like making it turn. Not so much the dish. I'm just so the mechanic here basically is like for to reach a certain area in the Mothman hunt, you need to basically go to these three radio towers throughout the map, probably three, um, and basically activate them somehow. And I'm trying to decide whether I want you to have to like find the radio dish parts and install the dish itself, or fix it, or repair it. Um, and then I'm thinking like you'll have to tune into a particular frequency, and then that will give you access. Once you've done the three, that'll give you access to a certain part of the map. And my idea originally was for a basically a code, like it'll give you some numbers or something like that. But I'm trying to think through in my head right now, like say I give you a code, right? So it's like say 6 digits. Each thing gives you two of the digits or something like that, or a word or something. How do you know what order those go in is going to be the problem. So I'm trying to think in my head if I can think of any solution or alternative um, design to basically like. I want you to have to go to these towers, radio towers, and do something at them to be able to gain access to a secretive part of the map, like a main part of the map. I'm just trying to decide what to give you. Like usually in these hunts, we give you items or something rather than just straight up information, because otherwise, the players I guess gonna have to write down the codes and then like what order does it go in. So I could make it print something, but that doesn't make sense. Like I wanna really play with the radio frequency ideas. So I'd really love to have like some World War II, like once you tune into it, you get like, someone repeating the same code over and over again or something like that. I just don't know like what the best way gameplay wise to make it so that people understand what to do for that. Side tangent, I think for visual design element, more cables would be cool. More cables, yeah. You're probably right. Like make it a lot more like fucked up looking. Cables hanging down and stuff. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, so does anyone have ideas that I haven't maybe thought of for this? The area you'll be getting to is essentially like some like a military kind of area, um, which you're gonna need another thing like a key card to get in there as well. But I just want to think of a way to involve these radio towers somehow in unlocking that. I should have thought about this off stream. I was just going to do the number thing, but then I thought as I was about to do it, I was like, oh, but how do you know which order the numbers go in? So, let's see. How can I chain together three separate radio towers to create some sort of item or information that allows you to access an area? Yeah, no worries. Yeah. Um, I'm just thinking out loud, basically. I could just do the numbers. I could color code them. I'm just worried. Are people going to remember? You know what I mean? Like if you don't write it down, I feel like I need to give you something physical. but then it's a radio signal. So how do you get a physical? Uh, Maybe I need to let this idea bake a little more and figure it out before I. Because once I start making this stuff, I don't want to have to redo it. Tablet. First step is finding the tablet. And then what would you do? You'd come up here and like tune in to the tablet or something? Yeah, actually, riffing off that idea, what I could do is have like one of those old military radios and you kind of tune in up here, and now you have the code, and it could be like, at the start, it's like just garbled, but then as you unlock the three towers at like maybe military installation, right? There's a tablet that you find that interfaces with the computers at the towers. Yeah. So you like bring the tablet here to the towers, and it like what would it do though? Like it like yeah, I like the tablet idea. I really want to involve radio transmission, because I guess since we're in spoiler land, like I want the Mothman to be able to interfere with this stuff and like talk to you through radio signals. So I really want like like audio radio to play into this a little bit. You'd plug it in. Mm. Tablet getting disrupted by Mothman's presence would be cool, and good heads up for when he's close. Yeah, exactly, Jenny. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. That's kind of why I'm trying to force this radio idea, because like a big part of Mothman is he can like interfere with electromagnetic waves, one of which being radio, and actually communicate through it. So I need to have an opportunity for him to communicate through this stuff. I just need to figure out a reason for you to be fucking around with radio stuff. Sounds like Ranger's got something though. Oh, I could do like a camera where you can take pictures of stuff, but I don't know. I just worry if I show you a code on the screen, people will just assume the game will remember it for them and won't write it down, and then they'll get to where they need to use it and they'll be like, "Oh, what was the code?" And that would be frustrating. So could be coordinates, or like the tablet idea where it aligns coordinates or something to where it then leads you to a specific part on the map to pick up an item or something. The tablet can have like a radio mapping thing you need to follow to find key quest items that have like some beacon or whatever on it. Um, but like maybe one time as like a mini fight, he will disrupt this signal to draw you into him. Oh yeah, trying to make sure I understand what you're saying. So the tablet can have a radio mapping thing. Radio mapping thing you need to follow to find key quest items that have like some beacon or whatever on it. Okay, yeah, 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 yeah. So it's kind of like what I was saying, yeah. So like you come to these towers to get um the signal, you pick up the signal or whatever, or tune to the right signal or something. Then your device, tablet or whatever it is, can actually like physically lead you to hidden areas in the map to pick up an item that you need to get to the next area. Is that what you're saying? I quite like that. Because I could have, yeah, I don't know. Tablet is cool. It just worries me like about how modern it is. I guess there is other modern stuff here, but if it was like an older, like LED, LCD kind of, 7 segment kind of thing, and maybe it like beeps faster if you're facing in the right direction that you're tuned into or something, and then you kind of follow it like that. maybe could be good. And then it's like less like techno like UI kind of stuff. Like I don't have to write a tablet OS. Okay, yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so tracking radio signals. So yeah, so that's I kind of like that. So you come to these towers, you repair or you basically make them operational again, so that you can then tune into the frequency to find something. Yeah, okay. And that's another cool, unique. I always like trying to put like unique equipment into these hunts, so that's a cool another piece of equipment we could use and use in contracts as well to find stuff. So that means once you've repaired this like little setup down here could actually like show you what the frequency you need to tune into is maybe. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. The only thing next then is like what items would we what special quest items would we need? Because I you'd need three of them. So one of them, yeah, okay. This is good. This is good, I think. Because I already had the idea of the key card to get into one of the things to get into this area. It's a biolab, by the way. Um, a secret military biolab. One of them would be a key card. So I could use that for one of them, but then there's two other towers that need to lead you to something. Maybe they don't have to lead you to, like, one of them could lead you to something that isn't required. It's just like you can find it. Um, you have no idea, yeah. No, that's fine. Yeah, I'm just thinking out loud. Tracking radio via frequency. Well, regardless, I like that idea. So we can work on that and then I can figure out what the items are or like what it leads you to ahead of time. Because like that they are kind of the last couple of pieces I need to link this whole um system together. Just gonna open the door real quick, hang on. Alright. Yeah. I like this idea that we're thinking of here. So that will mean I'll do this thing that I was talking about where you gotta repair or something. Yeah, the dishes, I suppose. Should I bother with that, or should I? Maybe I should just have the thing on the screen. Okay, I think I need to think about this between streams and make sure I have a solid plan before I work on stuff that doesn't get used. So in the meantime, what I'll do real quick is I'll do a little more art stuff before I finish the stream. I basically need to make this key card I was talking about. So um or like ID cards. So let's see. I'll need to model one. So um the military ID cards. Uh, I want to just Google that itself, but like, um, something something. Not ID card, like what do I call it? Doom one. Key card card. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Something like that. Okay, so let's say circuit boards, key card design, something. Circuit board, maybe not circuit board, like that to me looks like a SD card. Fine. What do you miss? PCB? PCB key card design. We what do you miss? What did you miss? We modeled some bolt cutters and added them to the game, and I showed off the bolt cutting mechanic, and then we started designing the one of the puzzles for the Mothman hunt. And I'm just gonna hopefully quickly put together a basic keycard design for the Mothman hunt before I finish off the stream as well. Just trying to find a good reference image for it. Like this to me does look like a. Trying to find like a good reference image for that. Like, is that not an SD card? SD card chip um, design or something. I don't know. Not design. Concept. Maybe I put the word sci-fi in here just to make it like, yeah, here we go. Make it like not just real life stuff. All right, yeah, we could do something like that. Doesn't really have the chip element, but I can like somehow include that as well. All right. Yeah, let's do something like that. We have to Photoshop. I mean, it's literally just basically a plane with this texture on it. Let's see. Go. How big should I make this? Maybe we'll just do 1024. Oh, we'll do 2048. Okay, and then we have a key card. Okay, and then for because I'm just gonna basically do it black and white, and in the material I'll make it colored, like they've done here. So we just need like sci-fi textures and stuff. Sci-fi textures alphas something. Maybe I'll hang on. I might have something. Assets alphas. Just looking for. Yeah, it's kind of just amorphous military right now. Um, but yeah, I might elaborate a little more on that, do some more designing on that as well. So I've got this thing from before with like a whole bunch of like sci-fi kind of stuff on it. Not that it's meant to be super sci-fi or anything, but it's I feel like the right kind of vibe for this. Yeah, I just need to put like a bunch of weird looking stuff around. Background, tell where stuff is happening. Chat. MIBs are good. Men in Black. Yeah, good call. Put like a whole bunch of these weird elements on here. Freaking clip this stuff to the. Because this is going to be like an alpha basically that I use in a material. So I just need to put a whole bunch of stuff like this on here. That's probably good for that. Let's see what else we got. Misc. decals. All right, that's pretty good. Then let's see this one. Okay. Vary the brightness of some of this stuff as well. Stands out too much. Is there anything else I want to include in here? Oh, on there. Okay, well, this, what the fuck? I'm trying to basically color this. I'm gonna have to do that with a saturation, I guess. How is that going over the top? Okay, Jesus, that's what I was trying to get. All right, this can go down a bit. And now we can put, I'm thinking, how about we do a QR code? What should we make a QR code to? DLC? What DLC? The game? Is link for Igor. QR code maker. Can you do this for free? Surely. We just do text. I don't know. I'll just do the game thing for now, I guess. It doesn't really matter. Create an account first, huh? Now that is gonna need to be inverted, I think. Yeah. But this freaking thing, it's kind of cool. And is that QR code? Okay. And then we would just have some like stuff here for like the Sands probably. Let's see. Access authority. People want to be. They call it military. What are the, like top secret levels or whatever? What are those things called? Clearance levels. Top secret's kind of like lame sounding. Yeah. Pretty good, pretty good. If I maybe do one more layer on here with a gradient. Yeah, it's pretty good. And then it would get colorized, uh, having like a like if it was colorized basically like that, which does show me that the text needs to not be 100% white. Ever so slightly off white, so it picks up some of the color at least. Yeah. So now we can in engine color it or make it transparent or whatever based on the because it's all just black and white, you know. So it could be like red or green depending on whether it's working or whatever. Um, yeah, that's pretty good though. I'm happy with that. Thing. All right, cool. And then we have some room to add in some other like stuff for the texturing process, like other textures or whatever. So that we don't get anything up there, because I'm going to basically be using this as the texture for the model, but also in game. So also, where is this bit? Now I could put a little shadow under that as well, add a little bit of depth. Cool. Put that as well. I think that's fine. All right, cool, sweet. And then, is there anything else we want to do this? It's probably fine. Maybe we can make the QR code a little brighter. Maybe I could give it a some sort of stroke. Fill out the design a bit. Get the stroke to be like inside or outside. Yeah, pretty happy with that. That looks pretty cool. Wait, we're missing something though. Here we go. All right, sweet. So that'd be good. I can always adjust it, add more Easter eggs and stuff in there, but I think that'll do for the key card for the game. So that will be for the biolab. You'll be able to get access to. Well, I guess yeah, biolabs actually going to be in that building, but yeah, to get through the door. So this will be an item in the game, but also a UI element thing as well. So yeah, another thing checked off for the Mothman hunt, and then we'll get to the map stuff very soon and start putting these pieces together, and then yeah, and then we're making pretty good headway on everything. Mothman key card. But yeah, not too bad. We made some bolt cutters and a ID card or whatever, and now I just need to model this at some point, maybe in the next stream, and make it maybe put it on like a chip like this or something. Be quite cool.